Welcome back to another episode of All or Nothing in Real Estate. I'm your host, Matt Smith, the founder of All or Nothing in Real Estate. As a reminder, this podcast is a movement to give back to this amazing industry that has given so much to me and my family. Coming at you live today from John Cheplack's Mississippi Ranch, 375 acres, epic property. I didn't think they made these things in real life, only in movies, but we're here at KFR at the ranch, and I wanted to make sure that I still give you guys a podcast this week. So what we're going to do is I did a webinar with John this week on how to attract, engage, and retain top talent using 4 proven recruiting funnels. And so that webinar that I did with hundreds of agents on it, we're actually going to do a replay of that on this podcast in case you missed that webinar, to help you learn how to grow, retain, train, and actually become a profitable business through 4 proven recruiting funnels. I hope you enjoy it.
Welcome everyone as they peel in. I know we're going to see some new faces, and Alan Thompson, cool. That's the Alan Thompson's going to be out at the ranch in Poplarville, isn't it, Alan? I think so. Think that's that Alan Thompson. Yes, sir. That's great. I look forward to meeting you, man. We chatted. I think we jumped on a Zoom a couple of years ago and just kind of explored some conversations on business. Yeah, really good. I'm excited, man. Excited for you to meet all the people around me that are way smarter than me, man. That's how it goes. It's like, oh, this guy's just a promoter. uh, uh, oh, Shara Mercer, Shara. Yeah, she's working with us too. Good. Sharon Bencham. Sharon's been around all kinds of Mark Kriska. Mark Don't Miss Anything. Kimberly Music. Kim Dowling. What's up, Kim? Probably Ford, Duncan, and Eric. They were both at KFR at the other ranch. Let's see. Courtney Levert will be at KFR. Cody Berger, my man. What's up? And if I miss you, it doesn't mean I don't like you. There's just a bunch of you on here, and I'm old, man. I'm almost 59 years old. I'm just trying to. Gail Winters. What's up, Gail? Good to see you. Jay, Jeremy, Jillian, John, Tessier, Justin Core. A lot of new names here. Maybe they're not new. How many of you guys? Just curious. Rich Cosner, man. Rich is an OG. How many of you have Terry McGowan? There's an OG right there too. Um, Let me ask you this, throw in the chat me. Are there any of you that this is your first Zoom, either with that I'm hosting or that Matt Smith is on? Any brand new faces, or are there be backs? I'm real curious to see. Just throw in the chat if you're a new me first me. This is awesome. That's interesting. We've never asked that before, Matt. You know?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's good.
It's
That's awesome.
really good. This is awesome. First time callers. Look at them. All right. This is cool. Well, listen, in the interest and respect of your time, first, let's roll. Look at it. First, Matt, look at this.
That's crazy.
It's very interesting. You know what? I just want to chat with y'all. Matt and I had a conversation going on and just being super, super candid. You look at the activity online, you look at Zoom attendance and downloads and all that type of stuff. And I just say it's complimentary to each and every one of you. Much lower, there's people wrapping up summertime, and there's people that are kind of paralyzed too. Here's what I know with this many people here in the market we're in. There's some of you that are struggling right now. Congratulations, because let me tell you what 90% of people do when they're struggling. They're freaking paralyzed and they don't do shit. So I mean, just from my heart and from Matt's heart, and I know the conversation we have in working very very closely together, good friends for 5 years. I mean, I have a lot of respect because it's tough, and we all respond differently to tough things. So, but here's what Matt pointed out. He says, you know what? He said the business people that are committed to their business are who is showing up. So that's not just to stroke you all because you're here. And I think if those of you first timers, maybe you've read some social or maybe you've not been exposed to me. I don't sugarcoat shit. I ain't Willy Wonka. So, with that said, let's get the show on the road. Here's what, and I'm going to let Matt jump right in. What's most important to us is number one, that you leave here feeling better than when you came here. Now, I can't take up a headache or a stomach ache, but I'm talking about your business. You either were reminded of something you already knew and it brought it forward. Damn, I know I need to do that. Number two, we reaffirm, bam, I'm doing that. I'm nailing it. Awesome. And it's really, really good to be reminded. Or number three, you go, holy shit, that's that subtlety, that nuance, or whoa, I'm totally missing it. So the most important thing is that we educate and we give you value. We are going to show you real life stuff of how to do it, along with real life examples of results. The thing I am most proud of, and Matt wouldn't associate with anything else, and it's a mutually beneficial association with me and Matt and my coaches. Matt's a Jet Black Live coach. He's an elite team leader that gets results. He has over 118 pending escrows right now. I share that with you too because I mean, and I think it's great. I was at a come up in my period, but I think right now more than ever, please, 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 whether it's us or someone else, lock into the people that are getting results right now. Not a good story. You just can't afford to. I don't care if there's someone you know that's getting results and not in our community, great, but please, you can't afford to. It can cost your career in a period like this that's not going to change. And we didn't play the fear game. We're winning. We're winning over here, big time. Matt got on here and said, it's great to be busy. It's great to be busy. So we're going to educate you. Now, here's a final thing I want to let you guys know up front, too. Towards the end, Matt will give you a warning. Okay. After he's educated, he's going to give you a warning. Say, hey, listen, I'm going to go into sharing with you an offer of everything he shared. It's not going to be 5 minutes training and then 20 minutes offer thing. He's going to go through. So what we want to do is respect those that, you know what, I don't want to sit through a presentation to learn how I can grow my business through what he's training. And I don't want to, but I want to keep coming back. So we want to leave you with goodwill. So he'll give you that warning. Hey, here comes the pitch. I'm going to let you know so that if you want to bump off, you can bump off. He'll give you a little time there, and then he'll go into an opportunity to use his tool. But in the end, just keep coming back. So he gets results. There's going to be a specific result that he's going to talk about and the action steps to take. I'm going to go offline and I'll come back here later. Ladies and gentlemen, elite team leader, elite Jet Black Live coach, and funnel man. And I sat next to the funnel hack, the real funnel man, but Matt Smith's right up there too. So, anyways, Matt Smith, thanks, you guys.
All right. Thanks, John. John, will you let me share my screen? All right, guys, how are we? I love seeing all the first time people here. Let's see. There we go. Thanks, John. I'm gonna share my screen now. All right, so guys, I'm gonna dive right in. What I'm gonna share with you today, I'm gonna walk you through step by step the exact system, the exact process that has resulted in 122 additional closings year to date, specifically from agents that we recruited last year. That means 122 actual closings so far this year, as of today, from brand new agents that we brought in last year to our organization. Let's share in the chat. Who wants to add 122 additional closings by the end of July to their business next year? Let's see in the chat. Anyone want to do that in their business? Because I'm going to walk through and share exactly how we can do that. I can't see the chats. Where did that go? Let's see here. There we go. There we go. All right, cool. Want to make sure you guys can hear me. Cool. So let's try it this way. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Technical difficulties. There we go. All right. You guys still see my there we go. I see everything there. You guys see my screen? Cool. All right. So I want to walk through what happened. What was my mindset? What was my process before I decided to go crazy and build a recruiting system that was allowing me to grow and scale my business year after year? And John shared times are tough right now. I have an inside scoop. Number one, I'm in the trenches every single day. Everything that I share with you today is proven. I don't believe in theory. It is stuff that I'm actually applying, or someone that I know is actually applying to someone that I'm coaching or something like that. But most of the stuff are things that I've actually proven myself. So maybe you can relate. If you're struggling right now, here's where I was at. My team had success. I think a lot of you had success during COVID, right? It was just a different marketplace. On the outside, everything looked great, but on the inside, I was struggling. I felt like I was handcuffed in my own business. I felt like I was held hostage in my own organization. At times, it felt like me versus the team. Nothing I would ever do as a leader was good enough. It was always give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. Give me more, give me more, give me more, give me more. And it transcended my mindset, and I started leading from fear instead of power. And then I finally had enough. I meet with great people like John in my life and some great mentors that I look up to that continue to pour it into me and allowed me to learn some leadership language and dialogue. And I decided to make a decision. I decided to no longer lead from fear and I wanted to lead from power. And so I made a decision that is still really, really bold, but I want to share with you truthfully. Here's what I did. I actually let go of an agent. An agent joined our organization. She had 6 months experience with another company. She joined our organization. She closed 100 closings her first year. And I decided to fire her because she was no longer a good culture fit. That's a decision that it takes some guts to do as an organization, as a leader. If the reason I bring that up is because I think a lot of us struggle. We struggle right now. If you're on this, I'm assuming you're some sort of leadership in your organization. And in order to step into your power as a leader, I want you to stay with me here. In order to change as a leader, that's what changes your organization is the person, the man or the woman looking back in the mirror. And so in order for my organization to change, I realized I had to change. I had to step into my power and change my identity. I had to grow as a leader. I had to let go of the identity and stop reading the press clippings of, hey, we had made it. I used to be a Navy SEAL team. My per person productivity at this moment per agent with me out of production was 55 closings per year. And I've never been more miserable. So I'm going to give you the keys to freedom in your life as a leader in your organization. I'm going to give you the freedom to time. I'm going to give you the freedom to money and finances. I'm going to give you the ability through the path that I've walked and the systems that I've built so that you can step into your power as a leader and stop being held hostage in your own organization. Can anyone relate to that? Anyone feel like they're held hostage? Let's hear it in the chat. I'm not going to call you out. Just want to make sure that I'm speaking to the right audience here. Anyone feel like you don't have enough power as leaders and you wish your agents would do more? You wish you could increase standards. You wish you could increase accountability, but we struggled to. Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Got a yeses and hostage. We're on the right track here. So one thing that growth uncovered for me was that I allowed it was on me. I allowed the agents to hold the power. And there was one thing that I wasn't doing that allowed that to happen in my organization. It wasn't their fault. It was on me. And it was simply because I didn't have a consistent, proven recruiting plan to bring new people into the organization to a new set of standards. So I decided to build that. And I built that. It's been over 3 years now. I've been implementing this in my own business. I built a recruiting system that consistently generates recruiting leads on autopilot. I'll share with you those recruiting funnels, that recruiting system has led to those 122 closings so far this year from new agents we brought on last year. So, what did it look like when I stepped into my power? And then we'll get into the details of this. Number one, I stopped apologizing for being too much. I remember I was in an organization like in a team meeting and they said, Matt, you're just too much. You need to chill out. And I believed them for a little bit. But then I realized, wait a minute. If I'm too much for them, that also means they're not enough for me. And so maybe they're in the wrong organization. And so let me go find other people that actually want to grow, that actually want to develop, actually want to change their life through real estate. Because I'm saying the right message to the wrong people. And guess how I find the right people? I got to focus on recruiting. When I focused on that, I actually realized that I had to grow as a leader. And so I went on this obsessive thing. How can I grow as a leader? And I'm still learning that each and every day. The leadership language is so critical for you to learn to grow through. And we'll uncover a little bit of that today, but mostly stay on recruiting. And so what happened was my leadership team transformed. And if I go back and look at my leadership team, how they transformed, it's because I decided to transform. They weren't developing because I wasn't developing. My agents weren't developing because I wasn't developing. And so when I stepped into my power and I set clear standards and expectations of who we are, where we're going, and why we're going there, the right people stepped up, the wrong people self-selected out. I no longer had to walk around on eggshells in my own company. I no longer had to be careful what I said, how I said it, because people believed in me, believed in our mission, believed in our company, and wanted to uphold and improve the standards of our organization. And it's no coincidence that all of that stuff happened compounded over time in this marketplace, in this present moment that we sit right now. July will be the best month in the history of my entire company. We have sold almost 800 homes in a year. 776 was our peak year of homes that we sold. This month will be our best month ever in the history of the company. And the only reason it happened is because of these recruiting systems that allowed me to step into my power as a leader. So here's the reality. If you have a recruiting problem, it's not just a recruiting problem. You also have a profit problem. You also have a culture problem. You also have a production problem. You also have a standards problem, and you also have an accountability problem. And let me say the same thing differently. If you have any of these problems, if you, accountability, standards, production, culture, profit, that also means guess what? The solution to those is recruiting. I'm going to walk you through that today. So I think it's important for psychology, really quickly. Why don't team leaders recruit? Here's what I've heard. I don't know how. I don't know what to say. We don't follow up. Sometimes like agents don't follow up. We get too stuck in the day to day. I'm wearing too many hats. I got too many things I got to do, and so recruiting gets put on the back burner. You still think recruiting equals cold calling, which it does not. It makes you uncomfortable. Cool. That's where growth comes from. So you got to lean into that. And here's what I think we're going to really dive in today is you haven't built a consistent recruiting machine. You don't have a system for recruiting business. You have systems, you have processes, you have different things for your real estate business, but have you built them for your recruiting business? And most people don't treat it that way. And I'm going to help you with that psychology and actually give you the system that we run to build our recruiting machine. So I like to start here. Lead generation. We all understand lead generation for buyer and seller business, and you have a strategy for it. But what is your lead generation? What is your lead generation strategy for recruiting? When I ask that question, usually I get some crazy answer. I'm curious in the chat. Currently, what is your lead generation strategy for recruiting? Go ahead and share that in the chat. What are you currently doing in your business to generate leads and hand raisers of agents that want to join your organization? I think I might have stumped them. We got one. Wise hire. Awesome. So we got one out of all the agents on here that have a lead generation strategy. You're on the right webinar because I'm going to actually give you a proven one. There we go. We got some more in there. Cool. Appreciate it. I'm going to give you guys some more depth of some of those things that you're mentioning. So I love that you're doing all of those. I'm going to give you an actual lead generation strategy that's brought thousands of hand raisers to our organization that said, "Hey, can I join you?" And so we're gonna dive into that today. So what is a recruiting funnel? Now we're getting to the good stuff. What is a recruiting funnel? Here's a proven recruiting funnel system. I believe you need a top of funnel, you need a middle of funnel, you need a bottom of funnel, right? So how do we make awareness that we're hiring? How do we attract people into our world by showing them what we offer, maybe piquing their curiosity about our industry? We'll dive into that in a minute. How do we get them into the funnel to be aware about what it is that we are doing as an organization, as a team leader? Then we have middle of funnel. That's where you actually capture the lead and, more importantly, nurture the lead, right? And then bottom of funnel, that's where you get your conversions, right? So there's three layers of the funnel that we're going to break down today. So I'm going to give you the exact funnels that our team used to attract over 2,500 recruiting leads. Again, leads, hand raisers, and the funnels that we've built for over 55 top team leaders. The system that we have replicated and built for other people. So here's the four funnels, the four levers that we have. Day in the life of a real estate agent, real estate classes, a real estate scholarship. Those all are in unison. And then we have a separate one that is how to make $100,000 in real estate. And I'll break those down for you here today. So I mentioned top of the funnel. Top of the funnel is how we bring awareness. So our top of the funnel is day in the life of a real estate agent. Why day in the life of a real estate agent? It's really, really simple. How many of you have had someone reach out to you and say, "Hey, I've always been curious about real estate. What's it like to be an agent?" Almost everyone that we know. There's so much curiosity around our real estate industry. And so why don't we use that as a tool in knowing that 95% of our audience at any given time is in the curiosity stage? Why don't we start messaging to the 95% instead of just the 5% that are considering making a move in real estate? Let's go after the big group of people and let's gather them in our funnel and let's bring awareness to what it's actually like to be a real estate agent. And a lot of people have ran similar stuff, and in person, right? Number one that they did, and it was career nights, which is great. If you're doing that, that's awesome. Maybe this is a spin on that that you can do in a different way to attract more people because there's limitations. Number one, career is a heavy word. I think your copy and your message matters in marketing. And so if people are curious about what is it like to be a real estate agent, why are we going to tell them, oh, learn about this career? That sounds daunting, overwhelming. They're not looking for a career. They're just curious. So we're going to pique their curiosity and we're going to talk about what is it like a day in the life of a real estate agent. So what does that look like? Number one, it's really simple. We answer the question, what is it like to be a real estate agent, right? Here's something that's important from this, and I'm going to go more in depth in this. I'm going to give you what we do in the webinar. But on the day in the life of a real estate agent, like again, message to market match that I hit on, your marketing message is so important, guys. It is so important that you make sure that you actually talk to your ideal avatar and make sure that you use the language that they are using in their day-to-day life. Again, is how many people are looking for a new career in real estate versus how many people are curious, what is it like to be a real estate agent? Night and day difference. So let's make sure we're marketing to the right group. And if you do it in person, that's great. I love in person, but it also has its limits. When you do it this way, a webinar, they can join from anywhere in their pajamas, just click of a button on their phone, wherever it is, right? And they can learn, you can educate, you can inform them, but also it gives you the ability, I'll walk you through to create an evergreen webinar. So you have a replay and you can always have it running in the background and marketing around it. So it's not just a one and done event. It's something that markets for you consistently over and over and over again. And it's a machine that continually runs. So specifically for our organization, Day in the Life of Real Estate Agents produced 3,303 unique visitors and 438 registrants as conversions of people that put in their name, phone number, and email and said, hey, I'm so interested in this. Can I join you? So how do you do the webinar? Again, I'm going to go through some details here. I'm going to skim through them. A date and time, you create a landing page, you post a seed post. A seed post is simply a marketing message. If I would you. A lot of people have reached out to me curious about what a day in the life of a real estate agent looks like. If you are interested in learning what a real estate agent looks like, if I get enough interest, I'll host a webinar to break down exactly what the ins and outs of a day in the life of a real estate agent looks like. Comment me below. And then you allow that to give a social media push to create interest into the day in the life of a real estate agent webinar. We built a landing page. Here's an example of what the landing page looks like. So what is a landing page? It's really simple. It is a place, it's something that you build when people go to that shows your marketing drove them here. Once they get here, can we resell them on what it is that we have? And can they sign, where do they sign up? Where do they learn more? How can we get them once they get here to actually register to create a lead? Because we take them from curious to excited at the landing page. That should be the goal. From curious enough to click to excited, I can't wait to join. That's the goal of your landing page. So here's an example of what ours looks like. And this is where I want to spend the majority of the time because I think a lot of people struggle with this part of the funnels that we have already sold. A lot of people have questions around this. So I want to spend some time here, whether you do it with us or you do it on your own, or you're just here to kind of be curious about what this looks like. Is the reality is the webinar is really, really simple. So don't overthink it. We do real estate each and every day. And so we think that we have to over explain, right? We think we have to like impress these people. But the reality is they don't know what they don't know. So just go back to when you first joined. What was different than you expected? So what as a real estate agent, what are your roles and responsibilities? What does a day-to-day life actually look like for you? One of the things I like to talk about is the realities of real estate. I like to debunk the myths of what real estate isn't and what it actually is. We go through how you can build a predictable business. We go through the support that we offer on our team. So I have this at the bottom here, demonized. So I think I've seen people do this differently, and maybe it works for you, but what works for us and what I would recommend, instead of this turning into a pitch fest about, hey, join our company because we're the best, I use this to hit on the curiosity phase of here's what real estate agents do. And then instead of saying, hey, you should join us because here's all the amazing things about us, we're the best in the world, we do this, this, and this. Instead, what I do is I demonize. So I talk about what does a typical real estate agent do versus how we do it on our team. And which one do you think I talk more about and how it benefits the audience? But I don't say, hey, come join me because we're the best. I say, you have options as a real estate agent. It's one of the things I love about this career. There's multiple ways that you can do it. There's no one size fits all. Here's what typical real estate agents do. As an independent agent, they do these things and these things and these things. And here's what we do on our team and how our team agents benefit from the extra leverage, the marketing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so I talk about both sides of those. I also am very, very realistic of what to expect. I think a lot of people try to convince people to join. And I just want to be, I don't want everyone to join me. I want the right people that are willing to do the work that it takes to survive, to actually thrive in this business to join me. And so I talk about failure of real estate agents. I talk about that in what a day in the life of a real estate agent is. I talk about what you can't do, what you could struggle with to that would keep you from winning as a real estate agent. Importance of education and training. Again, demonize, demonize, demonize. Be careful. Don't talk trash. Demonize. Don't say, hey, these guys do it this way and we do it this way and it's so much better. There's a way to artfully share that message without being the person talking trash on others, right? All right, so that's the webinar. And after the webinar, you set up the replay and the evergreen webinar. Here's why it's important. We had, I'm assuming about 40-50% show rate of people that register for this webinar actually show up. Same thing will happen to yours. And so, have you ever signed up for a webinar and not showed up because something happened? Same thing happens to them. And so make sure you have a replay available, which is why the in-person versus webinar, I like the webinar better because it scales. And then set up the evergreen one, which evergreen through the software we use is very simple. It's a replay that appears to be live. And every time that you click the link for the evergreen version, it says, hey, it starts every 5 minutes. So it's wherever you join it. If it's at 11:41, which it is right now in my time zone, that says that, hey, in 3 minutes, 48 seconds, next live webinar starts. Stay there. And it appears as if it's always live, so they're not watching a replay, and you get way more registrants that way. All right, next level, middle of funnel. Middle of funnel is real estate classes. So here's what I believe. I believe great salespeople, I believe that poor salespeople wait for objections, and great salespeople handle objections in advance. And so if I have someone that joins a webinar, they join my marketing, they get into my funnel because they're curious about real estate, what is the next objection that they're going to have about why they can't join my organization? Hey, Matt, that sounds great, but I don't have a license. No problem. I got you. Let me solve that problem in advance. And so the middle of the funnel is once you're interested in real estate, we're going to provide a solution for our real estate classes. So middle of funnel is real estate classes. So it's almost like I wrote this. Look, it's crazy. Sorry, threw myself off there. So funnel two is real estate classes. Everyone needs their real estate license. So what we have been known by doing this over time and marketing this is that we have been known as the go-to if you want to get your license in our market. They call our office. We don't own real estate classes. But because we have done this consistently, ran this play, guess what we are known for because of our marketing message in the marketplace? You call Matt Smith Real Estate Group if you want to get your real estate license. Do you think that would help you recruit if you become the go-to real estate resource? And so how have we done that? So we've done this as in person before. So I would just call the real estate school and said, hey, if I fill the class, would you host it in my office? Nobody's going to say no. And if they do, they're just not a good fit, right? And so we've done that in person and they did nights and weekends. They've done it during the day. We've done different ones and we filled many, many classes. What we pivoted to recently because just limitations in our marketplace and I don't need another job. And so I don't want to start a real estate school is that the closest school is an hour and a half away and they decided it's no longer worth driving to our office every night for 10, 15, 20 people in the class. So we went to an online version. And so I can give you some more information. I see some questions in the chat around that. We went to an online version that gives online classes that we went through. I believe it's Real Estate Express, but they give you the ability to white label a real estate school through their platform. And so we literally created a domain. So they think it's our school. And so we're just driving traffic to it. And as you can see, this is the middle of funnel. Middle of funnel is more intent than the top of funnel. And the conversion rates here prove. We have way less visitors, about half the visitors, but more conversions. Meaning that the people that actually inquire about real estate classes are way more likely to actually register for the information because they're higher intent. So that's where the middle of the funnel comes in. So here's an example of the landing page of what it looks like. Again, we've done many, many versions here. Then we've created, I like to create urgency. I think great marketers create urgency. And when you run this play, I like the people that have purchased this, we give them, and I think it's 97 pages of the playbook that we run of exactly how to market, what to say, all that good stuff. And so what we have found is that we have timing is critical. And so let's say we're advertising, we have a 2 week runway to advertise for real estate classes that start 2 weeks from now. It never fails. There will be 10 people the day after the class started and it's too late to join, say, hey, can I join your class? Right? It just never fails. And so what happens is that we go through and what we created, instead of just saying, hey guys, you missed it, what if I could take that demand that we created and actually use it to be like, hey, you know what, we actually got a wait list, sign up here. And then my next class is actually filled before I actually market for it from the overflow that we had from the class before. So start a wait list is really simple, so that we can create demand. Someone asked if I can go back one real quick. I don't know if I can. There you go. Take a screenshot. And you guys will get the replay of this too. So I'm fully transparent. So if you weren't able to get that, we'll send out the replay so you can have that and you get a copy of these slides in the replay. So bottom of the funnel is scholarship. Again, top is I'm curious. Middle is, hey, I'm actually kind of interested in this thing. And bottom is, you know what, I would join, but guess what the next objection is going to be? Again, solving objections in advance. Hey, I would get my real estate license, but I just don't have the money. No problem. I got you. I will invest $400, $500, whatever the class costs in you if you will invest in yourself. Put in the chat right now. Would you invest $500 to get a recruit that was going to follow the standards in the playbook to success in your environment? In Canada, yeah, I have some clients in Canada that run this. So I get it. Yes, it is. It's different in Canada. I understand. But let me help you with mindset here. You are right. But also, is there a way to get creative around that? And use that instead of saying, I can't do it because I'm in Canada. Can we get creative and find solutions around it? Because the other parts of the funnel still work. So maybe you could offer a discount, something like that. Anyway, the scholarship gets into the psychology of where like we want to work in advance. I would not invest for an agent. I've been burned by that. I will return fee if they, yeah. So cool. You choose to run it the way, that's cool. For me, I have them sign an agreement, which I'll go over. Is that have I been burned by that? Absolutely. But I also have agents selling $10 million a year that I've invested $500 in. And so is it worth putting $500 in 10 people to get one $10 million producer all day long? Right. And so it's a numbers game for me. Just think bigger. Sometimes we get stuck in, hey, that one person, that one time, and it limits our growth. Just my perspective. All right, funnel number three is the licensed scholarship. So again, create a landing page for it. It needs to feel like it's academic, it's official, and it's yours. And so I think that if you use each of these funnels in unison, right? We start with top of the funnel, day in the life. Then after we get them through, guess what? You guys should write this down. It's called BAM FAM. BAM FAM. Book a meeting from a meeting. That's how you should use these funnels and where they work really, really, really well. Let's say that we get 15 people join our day in the life webinar. Guess what I'm going to pitch them at the end? Hey, if you're interested in real estate, you want real estate classes, we actually have real estate classes available starting next week. If we talk about real estate classes, we're going to talk about the scholarships that we offer. And we're going to make more out of the people that show up. And so we run ads around our scholarship. Why do we run ads around scholarship instead of around our day in the life? Because this is bottom of the funnel and it's a marketing message. Have you ever thought about getting into real estate, but you don't even know where to start? What if a team with our proven track record could pay for your way through real estate school so that you could have the job of your dreams that you've always wanted? And get people to apply, share that on social media, and get them to your landing page, and it creates a lot of interest. And so if nothing else, if you've been burned by this before, I get it, I have too. Just because you're advertising a scholarship doesn't mean you offer the scholarship. We have an application process for our scholarship, and we have committed to only certain people. And guess what? Not everyone gets it. And sometimes we don't give them scholarships away, but we still advertise for them because they have to follow our process to earn it. And so it's a way to get advertised. It's legitimate. So we're not saying we offer a scholarship and not following through. We're just making sure we're being strategic and we're only offering the scholarship to the people that actually take initiative and have taken the right steps that are worth our investment of that scholarship. So when they get the scholarship, we actually they sign a contract, which if you buy the finals, you get a copy of our contract of what that looks like. And so it's a contract that's very simple. Basically, long story short is that if they agree to join our organization, and if they accept this scholarship, they agree to stay for a full year and sell X amount of homes. If one of those things are not met, they owe us $5,000 in return for the time, effort, energy, and our education that we invested into them. Are they willing to sign that? I'm willing to invest 500 bucks. All right, scholarship agreement again, commitment. They agree to complete the course in 60 days and they remain with the team. I just went over all that. So those three funnels are in unison. As I was running these and talking with a lot of peers and different coaching clients, what I realized is that there's a lot of people that would say, well, man, I want experienced agents. And you're just talking to new agents. Number one, I would encourage you to look at your mindset. Here's what I believe. I love new agents. And I'll share some success stories of why I do. I absolutely love new agents. They don't have bad habits. They don't have entitlement. They're willing to do the work that is required. And they will actually listen to you. They're open-minded. They're hungry. They're humble. And that's the agents that win in today's marketplace. However, that doesn't mean that there isn't an opportunity to use these systems, this framework, these marketing messages, message to market match to recruit experienced agents also. And so we have a fourth funnel that we added that is an experienced agent recruiting funnel. It has created 1,677 visitors and 288 conversions. It's actually more than that. We need to update that from last quarter, but that gives you a rough idea of the numbers. Why do we, what it, again, message to market match. I want you to think like a marketer here. Let's get inside the mind of a consumer. I'm curious. I'm going to ask you guys in the chat. I see your questions. I'll circle back at the end. Thank you guys for those questions. Keep them coming. I'll circle back. But let's get in the mind of the consumer. So in the chat, when you ask an agent, how much money do you want to make per year? What do they always say? How much money does the average agent want to make per year? When you're asking an agent, hey, if in a perfect world, how much money do you want to make next year? What do they say? Look at all the answers. There's only one that's different so far, and it's close. Everyone's saying 100K. That's so knowing that, we all understand that that's what everyone's looking for. Why don't we do a webinar on how to make $100,000 a year as a real estate agent? Message to market match. Follow the same exact framework. You set the date, you do a webinar, you set up the automations, you market to it to a landing page, and you do a webinar that is broken down of how to make $100,000 a year as a real estate agent. Each and every one of you, I'm assuming, most of you, if not all of you, have agents that have made $100,000 a year as a real estate agent, or you have. You have some sort of proven process that has gotten someone to that point. And so put that into bullet points and educate and inform people on how to do that. And you also tie that into how that's extra, how the typical agent doesn't do that, but why our agents do it is because of our process and our system. Again, demonized, typical versus ours. But we want to give them the value so that they can follow the process that we lay out in the webinar so that they can make $100,000 a year. Here's some talking points for you to go over: leverage, support, training, coaching, leads, accountability, and give them an inside look of what your blueprint is. John Cheplack says this all the time, and if you guys are listening to this, you understand it. He gives everything away. He says it all the time, and it really resonates with me. If you want to keep what you have, you have to give it away. So stop keeping all these things secret. I'm not saying give out every single detail of everything that you do, no, but there's some things you can give out. There's an insight. There's things that, like as an example here, there's value that you guys get here from what I'm giving you of the actual proven process, and not all of you will buy. And I hope that you take what you learned here and apply it and go and win. Why can't we do that for the agents as well? Right? And so let's expand our mindset around that. And if we do that and we educate and inform our ideal avatar, we can't lose in the long run. Again, replay and the webinar, evergreen webinar. I want to give you some proof after giving you the details here. This is an agent on our team. Kent, I always make fun of him for this picture. He needs to put a hat on that head. Kent, we all love Kent. He's an amazing guy. He had a career, a long career in the military, and he joined us. He was just looking for that family and different things. So his story began at the day in the life of a real estate agent. Not only is he one of the best culture fits in our organization, but these are the results that he had in his very first full year in real estate. He closed 29 units and 6.7 million in volume. He's had 217 appointments in his first full year as a brand new agent. Guess where his story started? A day in the life of a real estate agent. And we walked him through the path. Here's another one, Sean. He closed 55 units in his first full year in real estate, almost 12 million in volume. Same story. Other than he's not bald, right? But sorry, Kent. But the my point being is that there are sometimes we believe this we brought on one new agent that one time and they weren't successful, so now we taint the opportunity for all the other brand new agents. And we're not perfect, right? Not all of our new agents have massive success, but without us doing this and us giving the agents the opportunity to step up, we don't get these success stories. I'm gonna give you one more. This is a this year story. This just happened yesterday. This is Yuba. She joined us last year, and she was working part time, working two jobs, and she decided this year in January she's gonna go all in on real estate. And she shared with it started with her attending a day in the life, I guess 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. And she this is an important part. Even after watching a day in the life, she interviewed with other teams, and she still chose ours. When we talked with her, we encouraged her to go interview others to make sure that we're the right fit. So many people miss that in the interview. Quit talking about how you're the best thing and allow them to experience how you are the best thing. Give them an experience of what it'll be like when they join before they join. That's how you recruit. And so you can use that principle in all of these aspects. And so I want to make sure that it's clear here is that we're not like shadowing people or shielding them from going and exploring other options. We actually ask them to go interview before they join with us because we want to make sure when they join, they're committed to us and they want to be here for the long term. All right, so she started her journey by attending a day in the life. Her first full year in real estate is this year. She went full time in January, and she shared yesterday at her state of the company meeting. She's top dog right now on our leaderboard. She has 11 pendings, and she said it changed. And she went from 2 pendings to 11 pendings the last 30 days. And I asked her what changed. She said, Matt, I showed up to a meeting. You said one of the things that you always say, where I roll my eyes, and here goes Matt again on another rant. She said, but something happened and I heard something differently. And I decided to show up in a different way. I just made a choice. I made a choice to commit to showing up every day and treating this business like a business. And the only thing that changed was everything. 11 pennies. She's going to make $100,000 this year in her first full year in real estate, well over $100,000. And so you don't get those stories without these funnels. So these funnels completely transformed our business. So much so that we offer to build this for other teams as we've shared. And so I'm going to give you some of their success stories. Here's some of the things that they say. A great team leader said he loves the funnels. They're working great for him. I know he's having massive results. I think he doubled the size of his team in the last 90 days, if I remember correctly. Shane is also, he's got a brokerage and a team. And he put the funnels to work 6 months ago. He's great success and only getting better. Here's actually some screenshots from Shane that I want to give you just results. He's been running the play for a little bit. He's had 2,806 unique visitors. So I want you to realize it's not, hey, it's just Matt and it's a fluke. Here's other team leaders that are actually doing it. Converted 335 leads from the funnels we built for him. He has 110, and he's really primarily focused on the real estate classes. He hasn't really dove in and dialed in the other things yet. So it resulted in 27 recruits to his company. 17 of those he's retained as of today. And right now I asked him who's actually working, who's winning right now. He said, well, I have one that just joined 8 weeks ago. She's listed 4 or 5 and has 6 or 7 deals pending. And so I just want to give you proof of success of people that are running this play that are winning at a high level. So I'm gonna end with this, and I want to kind of bring John back here. Let's end with this. I want you to take your power back. I want you to take your power back as a team leader. Recruiting solves all your problems. You want to increase your profitability. You want to increase and enforce standards. You want your agents to be more productive. You want to be able to ramp up accountability. You want your OGs to be able to follow the process. You want to improve your culture and your energy. In your environment, it all starts with recruiting, growing from the bottom up. Recruiting to those new standards and bringing new people into those standards changes everything in your organization like it has for ours. And now, here's the time that John mentioned. We're going to share an opportunity for you to dive in, maybe do some Q&A, John, if we have time, but dive in to learn about, if you're interested in learning about these funnels, what that looks like.
Awesome. So anyone, first of all, anyone that doesn't want to hear what the opportunity looks like, and hey, I don't want to hear a sales pitch, and really it's not a sales pitch. We're going to explain it. But if hey, thank you for the information. We want to give you the respect to just move off, and please keep coming back. For those of you that are interested, hang out. I'll give folks a minute here to bump off if they want to. Okay, cool, cool. I mean, it's a push of a button, so that's quick enough. So awesome. I'm gonna put the link in it's in the chat. And then what I'm gonna do also is I will share my screen so you guys can take a look at the page, and then we can take you through this. Here's the first thing that I would look at while you take a look at all that's included, and Matt can take you through all these things here. There's a couple options. You can pay 997 today, 997 in 2 weeks, final payment of 997 in 4 weeks. That's a payment plan. Certainly, it's a little bit more payment. Or you can pay a one-time 24.97. And here's what I would say to you is this: is the question is this: think about all the money that you are spending. Want to say stay, but I have a coaching call with Jessica Boswell. We'll be purchasing. Awesome, Cody. Really, really good. Smart move, buddy. Here's the thing I want you to really think about, okay? Investment return. Uh, Look at all the money that you spend to get one closed transaction. And throw in the chat, if you would, for me. Throw in the chat. What's your based on your average sale price before splits or anything? What's one transaction? What's your gross commission? Go ahead and throw it in the chat. I'm curious to see. Throw in the chat what your gross commission is per transaction. 10. Go ahead. 10. Who else? No one else knows? 9. 9,000. No one else is earning commissions, I guess. None of the rest of y'all are earning any commissions. 22.5, 12.7, 12. Okay, good, good. 8. You guys throw in the chat what the value is of one recruit that stays with you for a couple of years. How much will you realize to you? Throw it in there. Do you guys know? Maybe you've never looked at it this way. Yeah. Watch this. Let me do a little math for you. Let's say you get one recruit out of all this that does 2 million. Okay. And you're providing them leads. Okay. 2 million. And I'll just use a number, not to talk commission percentages. So $50,000 comes in, total commission. You retain 25,000. That's one recruit that does 2 million. So, I mean, and not to pick on you and pressure you, but I'm going to pressure you. I'm going to pressure you to make a good business decision. A freaking good business decision. The average agent stays with a team 3.5 years. I'm going super conservative, you guys. One recruit, 2 million. Okay. You're going to retain 75, no, you're going to retain 25, 57, $87,000 retained to you after they're split. One recruit doing 2 million. Let me help you. You're not here because you're going to bring in one recruit. Let's go here. Say you bring in, say you get 4 people total out of this thing that do 4 million. 4 million is $100,000 in gross commission, 50-50 split. One agent at 4 million is going to be okay, boom, 100 grand. You retain 50,000 year one, 50,000 year two, 50,000 year three, year 3.5. I got the math. I'm not smart. I just been around this game, you guys, for 37 years. Okay. You're going to retain $175,000 after you pay the agent. So I think the thing to look at for you, when you look at, you're here because you want to learn. You're here because you want to explore an opportunity. You said that by staying on. And so now I question you. Are you here because you understand investment return? because take a look at where you're putting your energy and where you're putting your dollars and what gets the returns. There is proof here. Okay. An agent on my team that does 8 per year nets us $42,400, right? And so you have an opportunity here to make an investment that's proven and tested not by a vendor who sells products, but by a team leader who delivers results and uses exactly what he's bringing to you for 24.97. So I just really want to encourage you. You're going to get step-by-step recruiting machines produce hundreds of thousands of dollars built out and delivered to you. You get the 3 recruiting funnels plus the bonus. 16 landing pages to include registration place, replay page, thank you pages, evergreen page, 20 custom graphics created for you with your brand and logo completely built out and delivered to you, webinar completely built out, fully integrated, delivered to you. And here's how it comes to you. Once you purchase, you'll receive your recruiting funnels built for you in your email inbox in 21 days. Customized landing page with your branding fully integrated to your webinar and customized graphics with your branding all built for you and ready to promote instantly. The link is in the chat, and we're going to answer any questions you guys might have on it. What funnel system do you use? As I assume it's separate, so curious what else I need.
Yeah, so I'll take that. So what we use is we use so as John said, I'm not a vendor. I'm actually a consumer from vendors, right? So I'm one of you. I'm in the trenches every single day with my organization, with my team. I am a team leader first. And one of the things that I didn't like with products I purchased in the past, I felt again handcuffed. And it was I bought it, but it was they owned it. One of the things that was really important to me when we built these is that we build them and give them to you and your accounts and your stuff. And so there are a few requirements, but it's very, very affordable. There are, let's see, it is lead pages, which if I remember correctly, I think it's $29 a month. But we build it in your account. There is and you also need a Zoom account with the webinar add-on or webinar jam is what we use. And both of those are extremely affordable. And then you may need Zapier for some of the integrations, depending on what systems you use already in your business that we're going to integrate in for you. And so all of that it's under $100 a month. Most people it's under $50 a month. But it's all built in your system so we don't hold you hostage and we always have the keys to the stuff that we build for you.
Other questions? Matt, we purchased several months ago and never got it up and going. Can you help me get it going?
Yeah, well, sure.